celebrities. You may have heard of the Wright brothers. They were in the news last 1903 when they got their flight.
What's up, YouTube? Remember that one time I went to Schmuckers and did that whole video? It's up here if you don't. So today I am in Dayton, Ohio. Going to be checking out the Wright brothers. They've got a few things here that I've never been able to check out. Just see if they're cool, if it's interesting. Wright brothers, of course, are from Dayton, Ohio. They have a lot of stuff in Dayton, Ohio for flights and various things like that. So yeah, let's check this stuff out and see what we got. That Uncrustable is pretty good, homemade. Also, I forgot my new fancy microphone that you saw in one of the last videos, and I'm hoping the onboard audio of the Osmo Pocket 3, whatever they call it, is good enough. Should be. I'm on a pretty busy street, so hopefully it sounds pretty good. But I'm at the intersection of 3rd Street. It looks like it's Edwin C. Moses Street, and they got a pretty cool statue here I'm going to show you guys. So here it is. It's a little monument memorial to the Wright Flyer 3, I believe is what they call this. And if you look here, you can see the Wright brothers doing their little flight thing. Got the boy here. I don't know which one's which, but we got him here. And then if you go over here, you look up there, sitting on top of the flyer right there is the other Wright brother. And let me show you guys the front of this, get you a little bit better of a view. There it is, 1905 Wright Flyer 5. This is fairly close to the museum, so we're gonna head that way to the museum now. Just wanted to show you guys this cool little statue. It looks like there's a little plaque on the ground there. I'm gonna go check that out real quick. There's the plaque for this statue. It looks like it was made in 2001. Pretty cool, pretty neat. Okay, now we're gonna head to the Wright Brothers Museum. I think it's called a museum or something similar to that. We're gonna check it out, see what they got. Again, see how cool this is. I've never checked this stuff out. I've only checked out the Air Force Museum in Dayton. And that's an amazing museum, and it's free. Highly recommend it. But we're gonna check out some more stuff too. All right, so basically right down the street from that statue, we're talking like a 1-minute drive. You could honestly probably walk. I wouldn't. They have parking here. We are at the Aviation Heritage Park. So this is a cool little museum here. Also, if you look right here, the Wright Cycle Company. I don't know if this is actually the legit cycle shop that they had. I don't think it is. I think the actual real one is at the Harrison Ford Museum. Let's walk over here and look. See what we can find. Better view here of the sign there. I believe this would be the museum. It says Aviation Trail. This might be the actual bike shop. I guess I'll go in and find out. National Register of Historic Places. But they got a few things here to check out. This kind of gives you a better look at all of the things that they have here in Dayton. A few things that you can check out. I don't know if we'll see them all today. Maybe a few. But definitely a lot. There's definitely a lot to look at with the Wright brothers in Dayton. Okay, here we are inside of the museum here. Got a replica glider. So we're gonna walk around and see what we can see. This is a totally free museum and exhibit, which is, I mean, what more can you ask for? You can't complain about that, right? I wonder if that's where they're buried. The Woodland Cemetery, right there. Right there. Sorry, still getting used to the new camera. Well, we're gonna look around. I'm gonna record some stuff. The bike store tour is at 1:30. I definitely want to check that out. Wow, look at all this stuff. This is cool. Pretty neat. Yeah, there's definitely a lot in here to take a look at. So, Orville, Wright. Little quote there. There's a rotary wing. I can't believe this is free. Wow, look at this. You can start the propeller. Look at that. Huh. Look at this. There's nobody in here. I'm hoping there will be at least more than just me touring the bike shop, but I definitely want to check out the bike shop. I think that's going to be really neat. There's a lot of interactive stuff in this museum, like that. Moves this little jabroni here, so you can see, like, you know, I guess that's how to move the plane around. Hip cradle is what it says. Here we have a little bit of more Wright brother memorabilia here. It kind of looks like it's supposed to replicate the bike shop. They got some stuff in here that you can look at and you can see. This dude's spilling out information. Frank Hale Groceries. You see here, it looks like the Wright brothers. Wow. Well, this is cool. I don't know if this is the actual shop or not. It's pretty cool. This looks like it might be a little bit of just Dayton history in general. Like, I know the cash register, I believe, was created in Dayton or something like that. Yeah, right there. Mechanical cash register. See, I was right. So this is just some cool stuff, some cool Dayton history. All right, so heading upstairs, you see here's an old bench from their house. That's pretty insane. So not everything here is pertaining to the Wright brothers, obviously. This is a Paul Lawrence Dunbar album. This is about him, about the various things. He was a writer. He was one of the first African-American writers, as you can see there. And it looks like he wrote poetry. I don't really know a lot about him until right now. But yeah, this is just a cool little exhibit they have up here that you can check out and, you know, look at. So these are some original printers that have been restored. So, I mean, that's pretty neat. Dayton definitely takes care of their Wright brothers stuff, which is good. I'm glad they do. Here's some more stuff as far as the printing goes for the Wright and Wright, the Wright brothers. The Wright brothers did a lot. They made an airplane. They had a bike shop. They were always trying to do stuff and invent things. Wow, that's cool. A lot of cool things here. I also love the letters on this window here, like how it looks. I'm assuming that's not original, but it just looks cool. Like, I love when people used to do that on old shops like Walt Disney World. If you ever go down Main Street and you look at the shops on Main Street, they have letters like that. Sorry, it's always going to go back to Disney, but that's what that reminds me of. Main Street, USA. Some stuff in here pertaining to the local newspapers, which I'm going to make a bold assumption that the Wright brothers were definitely involved in the newspapers, as they had printing presses and things like that. Here's various print shops. And this leads me back in. There's that bench I took a picture of right at the beginning. This leads back into the main hall here. You can see them talking about more Wright brother things. Pretty neat. Look at this. There's a museum on parachutes up here too, which is cool. And then here's a little photo op here. I'm gonna try to do this. Let's see if I can do this with this camera. I forgot the tripod, so we'll see how this goes. See if it'll track me. I don't know if it's gonna track me or not. I feel like Carpetbagger doing this. Fall from the sky. Alright. Alright, Parachute Museum. I don't think this is a permanent exhibit. I think this is like a temporary seasonal thing. But you can see, wow, this is actually pretty cool. You can see, like, look at that. You can see inside of these things. No, it's a transmitter. See, look, transmitter. See that? Can you all read that? Transmitter. Here's an ejection seat. Look at that. That's cool. So a lot of cool things here about parachutes. Parachutes are important. You definitely need parachutes. Another interaction thing. Feel the force. Here we go. Oh, it's broken. Never mind, it's broken. Wait, drag. Careful. Yeah, this does not work. It's broken. Right when I said that, it turned on. So, here we go. So you pull on this, and you see that? It's making it move around. I wonder if they saw me wanting to play with this, and somebody just turned it on. Is there a camera in here? They're watching me. That's funny. But yeah, look at that. There it is. Now it works. See how a parachute works. Here we got some different tools to work on parachutes, patch tools, things like that. Got a ruler in there. More various parachute supplies here. I wonder how many parachute exhibits exist in the world. I bet you this is one of the very few. Okay, so the visitor book here, signed my name here, Jarvel 5. But old Braden up here, if you look. Braden is from San Diego. Did you know about the Parachute Museum? No. How did you hear about it? He didn't. He never heard about it. And he wanted to let you guys know he's never heard about it. Well, Braden, you've heard about it and you've been here.
About a half a block, or not half a block, just across the way on West 3rd Street. But Henry Ford comes through in the 1930s, purchases that, as well as the Wright's childhood home, which is about a half a block that way. And he takes them up to his museum outside of Detroit. So Greenfield Village, those are the actual buildings. Kind of can't blame the people for selling. It's the height of the Great Depression and Henry Ford has a lot of money. So the only photo we have of the Wright's time here is going to be on this 22 South William Street panel. And that picture actually helped save this building. Rediscovered and published in a cycling magazine in the 1980s. A fledgling aviation trail was going around documenting all the aviation history sites in the greater Miami Valley area. So that's going to be from Cincinnati all the way up to Wapakoneta, where the Armstrong Museum is. And they purchased this building knowing it's the last remaining Wright cycle shop, only to discover the city has already condemned it. It had pretty much been apartments since the Wrights had moved out. Wasn't in great shape, but they take that picture of the city and they go, pretty please. Can we restore it back? And luckily for us, the city said yes. Spent a couple years doing that, reopened it to the public in 1988, becomes part of the Park Service in 1992. As for the Wrights, they're going to move their print shop from where we have it in our exhibit space just across the plaza. Those are the actual rooms they were in. If you've been up to the second floor yet, they had their print shop in there for 5 years. They're going to move all that stuff up to the second floor here, which I'm sure was a really fun time. considering there wasn't a plaza here. They had to maneuver around buildings and up and down stairs and through alleyways. And then they set up their bike mechanic shop on the first floor here. It would be the first time both businesses were in the same building together. They would rent the whole space for about $16 a month, which is about $5.80 today, so still pretty good price for an entire building to rent. And would be here where their bike mechanic business was doing really well, so they said, you know what, let's become bicycle producers. So they start producing the Van Cleves and the St. Clairs out of here. Got 2 replica Van Cleves in here, got a male version in the window, a women's version on the platform there. You can tell it's the women's one because it has that nice little swoop. There also are some great additional features to protect a lady's skirts. You got a chain guard over the chain to keep that oil and grease and dirt off of it, as well as a little protector over the back wheel to prevent your skirts from getting sucked up in there. They would produce around 300 bicycles before they sell their business in 1909. Next year they're going to go into productions of airplanes, so kind of a good switch. You can still see a Wright bicycle here in Dayton if you go to the Air Force Museum or Carawan Park. But this is also the location where the Wrights get their inspiration to go into flight. Unfortunately, it comes from Orville getting a bout of typhoid. We think from the well on the site. The good hint about that is their father, Milton, wrote them a letter giving them instructions to do 2 things. 1, boil your water. Great advice for any waterborne diseases. And 2, don't use the bike shop well. So it's a pretty good hint. They thought that he got that disease from here. But because of that, Wilbur and Catherine are taking care of him. And as he starts to recover, you gotta do something once you're starting to feel better. And Wilbur's starting to read the newspaper because, you know, there's no TV, radio, or cell phones to keep you amused. And they discover the German experimenter Otto Lilienthal's death. If you look at his picture there, it kind of looks like he's hang gliding. Today, we know him as the father of modern hang gliding. For the Wrights, he's one of the top men in the world's quest, but yeah, very vital. They followed his career pretty avidly, republishing articles about him in their newspapers, and would be Wilbur who couldn't understand how this man had over 2,000 successful glides, multiple forms of his gliders. He would actually be selling them at this point, as well as one of the top books on flight, dies in a gliding accident, so he does what anyone does when they have a question they need to solve. He goes to his local library, reads everything he can about flight. Didn't answer his question though. So by the time they're moving from this shop over to that 5th bicycle shop, he writes to the Smithsonian to delve into the nuts and bolts of flight. And within a few years, they're building gliders and heading down to Kitty Hawk. So the rest you could say is history. Feel free to look around. Let me know if you have any questions. Whenever you're finished, you're welcome to head out either set of doors.
All right, thank you.
All right, I think that's going to do it for today. Checking out some Wright Brothers stuff. There's a lot more Wright Brothers stuff to do in Dayton, so I'm gonna have to come back down here and check out some more things. That Carolyn Park is one of the coolest things ever, so I definitely need to go check that out and see what it's all about. I know they got a lot of cool like typewriter and unique and weird stuff in there from other videos I've watched, and I'm gonna get there to record that for you guys at some point. But for today, that's it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully you found it interesting. Till next time.